Henry Blackburn. I just spoke to Colorado State Athletic Director Joe Parker. He's received death threats. His family's address was published on the internet. And Parker told ESPN that local police have been involved to protect Henry Blackburn and his family.
Highest rated game probably Saturday night, and had people up on the East Coast till 2 o'clock in the morning. Deion Sanders, Colorado 2-0 coming in. Huge rivalry game against Colorado State, but with less than a minute to go, they are down to the Rams, and Deion Sanders does that to give them a chance for a 2-point conversion and tie the game, Boog.
Yeah, 98-yard drive, the poise, all the way down the field. But then you still have to get the 2-point conversion. Nice little fake there to the running back, then a dart to the tight end.
Wow.
And Boulder was going crazy after that. So now we go to overtime, and it is the poise and the accuracy, Herm, that we've seen from Sanders so far this season.
Yeah, and, when he moves in the pocket, he's moving to create windows where he can throw the football. He's not moving to run. I mean, this kid is he's a lot of – can you imagine the pressure on him being Deion's son and playing quarterback?
And playing it at that level,
he's playing at a great
spotlight. Level. Colorado State was up to the task. They tied. We go to a second overtime. Sanders again with the go-ahead score. And so now the question would be, could that defense for Colorado step up to the challenge? It is 4th and goal from about the 25. Just knock it down. You know what? No, I'm going to pick it off.
Yeah.
18th in the country, 43-35. They win it in double overtime. All right. Pete Thamel, who covers college football for us here at ESPN, joined us now in the Monday Blitz. And one person we did not see in that highlight was two-way star Travis Hunter, who left that game, Pete, after taking a nasty hit. Some call it dirty, from Henry Blackburn. What's the latest on Hunter's status moving forward?
Well, we've got 2 updates. We'll start with Hunter. He's expected to miss about 3 weeks. A good target date for Hunter to get back after taking the hit to the upper body from Henry Blackburn is a Friday night game, October 13th, against Stanford. That means Travis Hunter will miss the game at Oregon this weekend. He'll miss the huge home showdown with USC the following week from there. And as for, he said he hopes the, quote, irrational vitriol towards Blackburn stops.
Yeah, you hate to see that, Pete, in any capacity, college football, but that's sort of the state we live in right now. But again, Travis Hunter going to expect to miss 3 weeks for Colorado, and that will be key over this next stretch of games. Pete Thamel here on the Monday Blitz. Appreciate it. So let's show you exactly what's ahead for Colorado. We mentioned now getting into Pac-12 play. And, oh, by the way, look who they're playing.
Oh, boy.
2 teams ranked in the top 10. They're also undefeated coming in to this particular week. But even beyond that, look at the points they are putting up so far. Second and first, respectively, USC and Oregon, in terms of how much offense they're bringing to the table each and every game so far. All right, so guys, let me put this test to you. Will Colorado win either, neither, or both of those next 2 games against Oregon and USC?
Well, if they win both,
yeah,
then Deion is going to the National Football League. Right?
He said he doesn't want to go.
No, he's going. He's going to go.
He'll go.
No. Do I think they'll be competitive in both those games?
Yeah.
I do. I really do, because I think this team plays with his swagger. They play with his confidence. Nothing's too big for them.
Right.
They won't be fearful. You know, they're going to walk in there and say, we're supposed to win. And that's the mindset of this football team. And it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, he always, Deion says, I got them believing.
Yeah.
They're believing. And guess what? They have some talented players on those teams.
But Boog, here's the deal. They won't have Travis Hunter.
Right.
And if he's not your best player, he's your second best player. He's got 160 snaps in the first 2.5 games of the season, playing both sides of the ball. How can they win either of those games without him?
Well, I'll take them separately. Against Oregon, they're going to have the best player on the field in Deion Sanders. He will be the best player out there. Where they're going to struggle a little bit is they're an unbalanced football team. They mainly throw the football. They can't run the football. They only average about 60 yards rushing a game. And when you go against the better teams, Michael, you have to be a little bit more balanced. Now, I think they're going to get manhandled at the line of scrimmage against Oregon. The game I think they can win, maybe shocking you, is USC.
Yeah.
Because USC's defense is not good, and it's going to be a shootout. Caleb Williams, Deion Sanders. Caleb Williams, Deion Sanders up and down the field. It wouldn't surprise me if they lose to Oregon, but come back and shock the world and beat USC, because I think they can put up more points against USC than they can against Oregon.
It's a track meet against USC.
Yes,
There's no doubt about
yes,
that.
yes.
It's going to get into the high 50s.
Two of the three Heisman favorites would be Caleb Williams against Deion Sanders
yes.
in that game. Well, plenty more to come here.
Snap on Saturday. Now Milroe's the starting quarterback the rest of the way. Your thoughts?
Matt, I've covered Nick Saban since the day he arrived in the SEC, and this is maybe the most puzzling statement I've ever heard him make. I don't know how you pull a guy who you had named your starter in the first game. He struggled in the second game against Texas, and then you name the backup. You don't play the guy, and now he's your best player because he showed leadership, essentially being a cheerleader during the game. I mean, I don't know how you can unpack that one any better than what I've just said, Matt, and it still doesn't make any sense. I think Nick Saban realized that he doesn't have any other quarterbacks. Milroe is a big play artist. He can break a play as well as he can throw an interception, and that's his best chance of winning, whatever that means.
You could have given me three answers for Saban today. I don't know that I would have picked Milroe started to be one of them. Crimson Tide, by the way, perhaps surprising, 7-point favorites against Ole Miss this weekend. That, according to Caesars, not the only big college football game this weekend. Huge matchup in South Bend Saturday. Hannah's keeping an eye on that. Number 6, Ohio State visits number 9, Notre Dame. And Marcus Freeman spoke to the media earlier today and what Sam Hartman's experience brings to the Irish. It's new on SportsCenter.
He's played in big games and big moments. And again, I think his mindset, the ability to go out there and have the right mindset for him to have success, right? And that's what I'm most excited for is the experience he has. He knows, Sam Hartman knows this is about him going out there and going through his checklist and executing the things he needs to go through to have success. When you haven't done that, I'm sure it's a lot more difficult. And so, obviously I feel great having a quarterback that's had some of that big game experience and just college football experience that Sam has had.
Paul, I need you to be careful with this answer because I've got Hannah staring at me on the other side of the studio.
Let's
so
go,
be cautious.
Paul.
Be cautious with this. Is this the year Notre Dame can take out Big Bad Ohio State?
They could. I wouldn't have thought so a couple of weeks ago, but I'm starting to think now. And don't forget, Hartman was at Wake Forest. He made the move up there. And Hannah, you can tell me whether I'm right or wrong here, but it seems like Notre Dame has gotten better since Tyler Buckner went to Alabama, and Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator, went to Alabama. Notre Dame's a much better program without the offensive coordinator that had been there under Brian Kelly. And I think this is a Notre Dame team that is very capable of winning this game and maybe going to the playoffs.
Two things can be true. One, Paul's a master at bringing things full circle.
Yes.
And two, always bringing it back to Alabama.
Yeah.
That's why he's Paul Feinbaum.
Of course.
Paul, great stuff. See you next Monday.
It's that Notre Dame defense, Paul. That's I have the most questions on. We'll see how those get answered. And let's bring it back to Alabama. Let's do that ourselves, right? The guy that Nick Saban. The Steelers are hoping to avoid an 0-2 start, while the Browns are looking to open the season at 2-0. Pittsburgh lost to the Niners in Week 1 by a 30-7 final. Cleveland beating the Bengals 24-3 in their season opener. So that defense holding Cincinnati to just a field goal. As Lisa Salters joins us now from Pittsburgh. So the dreaded 11th hour weekend practice injury report now has Amari Cooper's status in question for tonight. What more can you tell us about his situation, Lisa?
Yeah, Hannah. Well, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski seemed more optimistic yesterday about Amari Cooper playing tonight than he was, say, on Saturday after practice. Cooper was apparently running a route in the red zone during practice on Saturday and pulled up with a groin issue, ending up as questionable for tonight. But Stefanski said Cooper seemed much better yesterday when he showed up at the facility for walkthroughs. We're told Cooper's strength is good. He checked out on all of his exams, and according to his coach, Cooper has said that he's confident that he'll be fine for tonight. Now, I asked if he'd have to go through any kind of pregame workout before an official decision was made, and Kevin Stefanski said, nope, that's not needed. The plan is to just see how Amari feels when he gets off the bus at the stadium, and if he says he's good to go, then he'll be up. And Hannah, they can use him tonight. The Browns have not been 2-0 since 1993 when Bill Belichick was head coach and Bernie Kosar was their quarterback.
Wow, take me back. Okay, Lisa. Meanwhile, on the other side, Steelers certainly have an unfortunate injury news.
Jumping is scary. At times, it's going to feel like it's an uncontrollable tumble. But let me tell you this. You'll sit there with that parachute on your back, all them skills you got, and you'll have it packed away, and you'll never get cut up. But if you do not jump, you will never soar. If you don't jump, I'm telling you right now, you'll never know. I would jump. Should take a chance.